All right, guys, so this is a little follow-up for activity 2 called 3 sequences. I just wanted to break down a few things from the activity and the questions that they were asking you. So these were the 3 different sequences that you were given, A, B, and C, and one of the questions asked to just basically describe what do you notice about the numbers from each term to the next. So you should have noticed in A that you were adding 10 each time. So it would be pretty easy to be able to name the next 5 terms. They would just be 80, 90, 100, 110, and you could continue to go by adding 10 each time. For B, it went from 0 to 5, 15, 30, 50. What you should have noticed is that you added 5, and then you added 10, then you added 15, then you added 20. So you could have guessed that the next time you would have added 25, and then you would have added 30, and then 35 and 40 and so forth. And then for C, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, what you would have eventually noticed is that you were just always doubling the previous term. So I doubled 1 to get 2, doubled 2 to get 4, doubled 4 to get 8, and so forth. So again, it would be easy to continue that pattern and that sequence. So just breaking down a few things from this. The term arithmetic sequence is one that we have not talked about yet. And an arithmetic sequence is just when you are always adding the same number to get from one term to the next. So the perfect example of that would be A. I'm always adding 10 to get from one term to the next. Another example could have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, because I was always adding 5. So a way to keep arithmetic straight in your brain is arithmetic starts with A and adding starts with A too. So that's a really easy way to just think arithmetic means to add. So you're always adding the same amount to each term to get to the next term, okay? Then you have the rate of change. So that number that you are adding is what we would call the rate of change. So the rate of change in this would be 10 because I was adding 10 each time. That is the rate at which my sequence was changing, by 10 each time. And then the last thing, just hitting back on geometric sequences. So we always have our growth factor. So our growth factor is what is the previous term growing by. It is multiplicative, so it is multiplying. And an example would be C. So example C was when we were doubling. So your growth factor would be 2. You were doubling each time. So your next term would be 32 and then 64 and so forth. So that would be your growth factor. Another example you could have done was starting at 3 and then going from 3 to 9 and then 9 to 27, and that would be a growth factor of 3, meaning that you are tripling from the previous number. So that is just a quick little summary for the activity called 3 sequences. If you have any questions, let me know either via email or when you get back to class.